Catalan it is. So we were both wrong. It's not e4 and not a random offbeat opening. It's arguably his main weapon, or one of his main weapons, the Catalan, which of course he studied for the World Championship match, has been using a lot since then. Sarana plays one of the main lines. This maneuver always looks a little funny if you see it for the first time. You give a check, and then you go back. Why do you do that, Peter?
Well, yeah, I think that you can explain it very well, that in some of the lines, if the bishop would be on c1, white would also have this queen c2, knight bd2, and going for b3, bishop b2 and e4 plan. Yeah, and when you provoke that bishop to d2, then it's clear that white will not have this thematic setup, and he will have to move that bishop from d2 again to f4, for example, and then we get completely different strategical battle.
Yeah, bishop for example, was here, then you could, for example, go knight b2, or also go b3, bishop b2, knight c3. So you would much rather have the bishop here. Sometimes you see this maneuver, bishop f4, and if black goes knight h5 to challenge it, then it goes all the way back. Then after knight f6 they say, I tricked you, now my bishop is here, so I can finally fianchetto it. So it looks strange to lose his tempo, but the idea is that for these close positions, the bishop is often slightly worse on d2 than on c1.
One of my last classical games were against Sarana in the Bundesliga, and I also played the Catalan against him, and he also opted against me for the same bishop b4 check c6 knight b7 line. I'm curious to see if Magnus goes, for example, for castles. Do we see b6, bishop b7 or bishop a6 setups later?
I have no idea. There are so many options. I think Dubov, we've seen him play h4 in every position here. Maybe even in something like this. But castles, of course, by far the main move. Hasn't Magnus himself? Maybe in a different position. Recently he's experimented with some early a5. I think Vincent, he also plays some systems with h6, a5 here. There's a lot of ground to cover, even in the dullest of openings. And I'm very curious how this debate is gonna go as well.
Yeah, and h4 on the board.
There you go. I know my Dubov.
Yes. Wow. I mean, basically one could argue that, okay, what is this h4, h5? I mean, black has already
understood
it. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's gonna be checkmate, but yeah, in modern chess there are all kinds. I think one of the main ideas after h4 is that not only that you want to push h5, but somewhere you want to play knight c3, sacrifice that pawn on c4, and when black takes dc4, then after e4, e5, there will be knight g5 kind of ideas.
Yeah. I was also I'm still confused by it, maybe I'm too old, but I just see engines recommending h4 in all kinds of completely normal looking positions. And I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. If it's the space gained or the knight g5 option, combination of all these things. Looks like it's over, no?
This attacking without sacrificing, but here he even has the material advantage and attacking. I mean, how happy he should be.
It's even better. Attacking while being exchange up. Next course coming up. He does have a gift for moving his positions, his pieces into attacking positions without giving material along the way, which is even nicer than having to give material for it. And c4 played by Sarana. At the end should be here, no? Queen h5, d6.
Exactly. I mean, okay, with c4 he is at least preparing some queen b4 counter strike, but queen h5 is putting the pressure on the a7 for black. He does not have time to get any active play.
No. No counter strike today. That's what my mom used to say as well. Queen h5 played.
Queen g7 is a very sad move because then the queen moves to the wrong diagonal and then your d6 followed by rook e7 should be, or rook e8, whatever.
It's just over. You can see Sarana knows it's over. Sarana about to surrender.
Yeah, there is just nothing black can do, it's completely hopeless.
We should mention that the format is the quote-unquote usual and many matches of 4 games, but of course the twist is this double elimination and time control is slower than usual. Magnus Carlsen wins his first game after queen to g8, rook d7 put an end to Sarana's hopes, threatening checkmate and attacking the bishop. Tour de force by the world champion, though, showed some prep or aggression, crushed Alexey Sarana.
Yeah, I mean, basically when you go for h4, this is exactly what you are dreaming of, yeah? And you are thinking that I shouldn't be dreaming because it will never happen, but it did happen for Magnus, and he's up for a fantastic start for this year's Champions Chess Tour.
Yeah, won't be easy for Sarana to make it back into this match. But of course, there are still 3 games left, 2 of which he has the white pieces. He's shown he can beat Magnus Carlsen. But Magnus looks in good shape. He's hungry.